Welcome to this episode of the Toronto Blue Jays Update. We have some breaking news as a massive new report has dropped surrounding Kyle Tucker that is not only absolutely sickening, but quite frankly, delusional. An offer has been leaked that nobody saw coming, and it's just ridiculous. We're going to break down this new offer and discuss what these reports mean as the stove is extremely hot, along with a ton of other updates surrounding the Jays. Folks, you're going to want to stay tuned till the end of this video. Brand new updates have just dropped. Before we dive in, a quick reminder to hit that subscribe button. You guys have been absolutely incredible with your support, and a decision regarding Tucker seems to be coming to fruition very, very soon. So make sure to hit that subscribe button to continue supporting the channel. Now, let's get right into the video. Earlier today, I made a video about the growing tensions related to Kyle Tucker and Bob Bichette and how things are starting to get a little bit scary. A brand new report has just been released from notable insider Robert Murray, revealing that the Mets have offered Kyle Tucker a staggering $50 million a year on a short-term contract. Yes, you heard that right. $50 million a year on a short-term contract. Yes, you heard that right. $50 million. Throughout the afternoon, I was tracking various reports, and there were rumors about how much the Mets had offered. At first, it wasn't confirmed whether it was $100 million, $120 million, or even more. But with Robert Murray dropping this bombshell, it's now clear that the Mets have thrown down an enormous gauntlet. Now, some are speculating that this offer could be spread over 3 years, which adds a whole other layer of intrigue to this developing situation. The market is starting to heat up, and I suspect a decision is imminent, folks. The Mets have now positioned themselves as serious contenders in this sweepstakes, and while this offer is undeniably crazy, it also seems like a potential outcome of Tucker opting for a short-term deal. Ben Nicholson-Smith highlighted this significant development in the bidding war for Tucker, noting that the Mets, Blue Jays, and Dodgers have all shown interest, with the Yankees lurking in the background. This new development is particularly alarming because there are increasing reports that Bob Bichett may be joining the Phillies soon. If Tucker ends up joining the Mets, it would create a nightmarish scenario for Toronto. Now, let's not downplay the good additions that this team has already made, but this news is definitely not what I wanted to hear. I was hoping things would remain quiet regarding offers from other teams, but a $50 million per year proposal is now confirmed, and that's a lot of money. Will Salmon of The Athletic also mentioned that if the Mets are in the ballpark of $120 to $140 million for Kyle Tucker, the real question becomes, is that going to be enough to seal the deal? Sure, it's possible that the Blue Jays or Dodgers could outbid the Mets, but the possibility of the Mets raising their offer is also there. It's a delicate dance of supply and demand. And let's not kid ourselves. $50 million for someone who is not a proven superstar is questionable. At this point, we have to consider what Kyle Tucker genuinely wants. If he is looking for a long-term deal, the Blue Jays clearly have him covered. But if a short-term deal is on the table, it feels like the Mets just took a giant leap forward. The Dodgers, who were previously seen as frontrunners in this situation, may not be prepared to match such a lucrative offer. What does this mean for the Toronto Blue Jays if they lose both Bichette and Tucker? Perhaps they stick with their current roster, and Ross Atkins could claim they're comfortable with what they have. While that might technically be true, fans and analysts alike are hoping for more firepower. Ben Nicholson-Smith pointed out not long ago that the Mets are somewhat of a dark horse in this race. Just a week ago, the Jays seemed to be leading the pack for Tucker, but it's clear that the Mets have shifted the odds in their favor. On another note, there's another relevant question. Why would Tucker be inclined to sign a short-term deal at 28 years old, particularly with a baby on the way, and with his resume of consistent performance? At an estimated value of $39.9 million annually, which ranks fourth in MLB, is a 3-year deal really in his best long-term interests? Maybe he's finding this deal so tempting because of a projected lighter free agency class next year, meaning he could opt out if he has a good season. Now, on a quick side note, there's some chatter about the Jays perhaps having the biggest contract offer on the table, but not the highest annual value. This is purely speculative and should be taken with caution. The thought process here is intriguing, but complicated. It's vital to remember that pressure is ramping up. Each report that drops adds more urgency to the Jays' situation. As for trade comparisons, Kyle Tucker stands out as one of the best players in baseball, and signing him would immediately make the Jays contenders, if not favorites. So, what do you think the Blue Jays should do? If you're in Ross Atkins' shoes, would you match the Mets' offer of 3 years at $150 million? I'm curious to hear your thoughts because the current state of the Jays is better than last year, even though they're potentially losing key pieces. With the right additions, they could truly lock in on a W. As more decisions unfold, we'll keep you updated along the way. Let's hope for some good news for the Blue Jays soon. Thanks for tuning in today, everyone. Cheers.